Hey guys, welcome to the Joji Show, where we talk about everyday life things. My name is Joe and I'm glad you're here. Today, actually, we're going to talk about this tweet. I saw this tweet the other day while I was just, surfing the web, and I agree with it. I actually do, and I think for the longest time, people don't realize this, and until you get to a point where either someone points it out to you or you experience something that proves it to you, sometimes we don't realize it. And this is because as young kids, we are taught to believe that this is the way life should be, that we should work hard, and somebody who is in charge is always paying attention and they are going to reward you for what it is that you're doing. Anyway, I do want to talk about why I agree with this tweet and why actually this is a problem for especially most of us younger people who are coming up, and ways that we can go ahead and take care of ourselves. But before we dive in, I do want to say thank you to all you guys who've been watching these videos, and I ask please continue to watch the videos, share them, and subscribe, and this will help us grow the channel and continue to bring more great content. So anyway, from a very young age, we are taught that we should always work hard, keep our nose down, do it what it is that we have to do, and not really demand or request or make known that we're expecting a reward and that somebody is out there paying attention and they're automatically going to reward you. And from a very young age, kids, this is reinforced for them. So, they're in the house running around doing chores, doing whatever it is, and the parents are giving them some sort of reward, and then they go into school and the school system does the same thing, and those who actually rock that boat and cause some sort of make it known that they actually are putting in the effort and they require or demand that reward, then they get cast as difficult people or people to avoid, and they're used as an example of what not to be. So we take this up and we bring this into our adult life, in our workplaces, and over time people start to realize this is not the case, and this is what we're going to talk about today. So I do want to point out that I am not against hard work. I am not saying that people shouldn't work hard, but instead what I'm saying is I think hard work by itself is not the end all, and our goal, especially as an adult, is just not hard work all the way, but work hard and then figure out how to work smart and make that transition so that your effort is actually paying for you and you're being smart about how you're doing your stuff. It's not about hard work, it's about working smart. So anyway, I am going to talk about what I think about people who just work hard, keep their head down, and don't cause any, who are not demanding that automatic reward, and what to do to overcome that barrier in your career or in your adult life. To begin with, over the last 20 years, I've been working, and I've realized that those people who come in every day, keep their head down, do their work, don't ask questions, don't cause anything, and expect to get that reward, what they end up being is model employees, if you would, because they become very reliable, they become very predictable, and they're safe. They're safe in that nobody has to figure out whether or not you're getting your work done. You're always getting your work done. You're very predictable. You'll always be there. We can rely on you. And over time, your contribution becomes expected and automatic, that nobody is really thinking about you, because you're the guy who's there every day, doesn't take a day off, is never late, is never wandering around, is not surfing the web. You're always getting your work done, and you're keeping your head down, and you're not causing trouble, and so nobody's watching over you, nobody's managing you, and when your work that you produce continue to produce and it works, it just becomes automatic and required of you or expected of you, and you're not a thought to anybody. So instead, what I'm going to talk about is some ways where you can combine that hard work with some skills or some strategies to help you not only excel through your hard work, but also get noticed, get that reward, and be able to start to accomplish things that make you go beyond just Monday to Friday getting your work done. Number one is get yourself noticed. And how do you do that is by just recognize who in the room you need to, is paying attention, who needs to know about you, and make sure that they know what you're doing and they understand you. Some people say it's kind of like politicking, and it is what it is. At the end of the day, if nobody knows who you were, but you're always there and always working, then nobody is thinking about you. But make them think about you, make them know you, and you have to get the right people to know you. And sometimes that's up to you. You have to find out who it is and find your way to talk about them. Talk about what you do and make yourself known that way. The second one, which is just the same, is just brag on yourself. And this is, when you get that opportunity, talk about your success, your recent accomplishments, what you've been working on, what you've managed to get across the finish line. And this you can deliver in any kind of way, whether you are sending a report out, whether you're sending an email to your boss, whatever it is, but make it known, and make it known frequently, but not also in an overwhelming way. Just be smart about it. And don't wait till the end of the year, for instance, to talk about all your accomplishment at your annual review, but do it frequently and in ways that kind of, like the first one, get you noticed, get someone thinking about you and knowing what you're doing around here. The third one is get someone to talk about you behind closed doors, which you don't get to go into. So, in that boardroom where there's those big discussions being held, those big decisions being made, have someone who's on your corner who talks about you and who says, so and so can get it done, they get it done, they are the person for this day, and they start to recognize your worth, they start to recognize what you're doing around here, and that will help you start to get your reward. Then, on top of that, make yourself likable. And what I mean by that is, don't be that person who comes in, just come in the morning and keep your head down and get all your work done and go home, and you have no interaction with people. You don't hang out with people. You don't go out when people are celebrating or whatever it is, and you don't want to interact with people. You don't want to mix around. You just want to come, do your work, go home. You don't have time to make friends. And there's a balance here. I'm not saying just hang out with everybody and always be there doing your stuff, but also I'm not saying that do not interact with people beyond just doing your work, but find that balance which makes you likable, which makes people want to know who you are, more about you, who understand what you're doing, and who can start to see your value beyond just getting a task done. And this will help you again be the kind of person people are thinking about and seeing what you're doing and seeing your value and appreciating it in, sometimes in dollars and cents, and sometimes in just that opportunity to move on or to move up or to be in charge of something. And then lastly, I would say also, show yourself as a leader. And what I mean by that is just beyond just doing the tasks you're assigned and doing your work, start to come up with suggestions, start to come up with ideas that people can do. You understand very well what you do and you do it very well. How about you start to make recommendations to like how this strategy can carry forward? You know it very well, so you should be able to actually see a roadmap for it and deliver that. On top of that, take some or suggest some calculated risks. So you're just not out there being reckless, but on the other hand, you're not there being totally safe and not rocking the boat in any way. But leaders take risks. Actually, leaders take calculated risks. So look and see where you are and look to see where you want to go and figure out how to get there. And sometimes there's a risk element there, but when you get there, the reward is great. And it's the same thing. Figure out how to get to what you want and make some risks so that people again can see you and can see you for who you are as a leader and not just someone who's there to do work or to follow around. And remember, this is key. The work never ends, and the work actually always increases and never decreases. If there's a way to give you more work and keep you pay where you were or your reward where you were, that's going to happen. But recognize that the work never ends. Do what you have to do, but at the same time find a balance. demand what you do, and at the same time know when to pull back when this is not happening. You know, sometimes, especially younger people, when you start pushing up a little bit, then they see you as, oh, this is a difficult person to deal with, or this is someone who we don't want to have around here, or whatever it is. But I'm saying find a way to know what your value is and demand that. And if you don't get it somewhere else, just go find somewhere else where you're going to get respected. So anyway, that to me, when I saw the tweet, I was like, this made so much sense, and I have seen it play out, and I thought it was important to talk about it. But at the same time, I know there are very many more things that happen out there that we were taught as young kids, that in our older, in our old life, we start to realize this is not really true, this is not how things work, and systems are built around those lies, and they keep us held back. So this is our chance to educate ourselves, to make us better, and to step out and do better. So anyway, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you have learned along the way, or if you have learned some of these lessons here and how you've applied them and how they have helped you. And thank you for continuing to watch the channel. Please subscribe and like and share. And don't forget to share your experience down below. Until next time, thank you.